There we go.
What?
OPNation Talk, man. It's another good day, another good Monday, hustling. Money Monday, motivational Monday, whatever you want to call it, man.
OPN Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday.
On WeUpRadio.com. What's up, OG DJ A?
What's up, Ray Dust Shark?
I guess we got to put, that was your way of putting respect on the name.
Huh? That's it, respect. That's it, respect.
OG DJ A. That's my dog, man. We always in the building.
That's daggone right.
Hold up, hey, you out the camera.
I'm out the camera. Oh, my bad. Something up with my thing. Oh, there we go.
You want to move it over? Yeah, I got you.
Don't touch nothing, hey, I got it.
All right.
Why are you moving it?
That was me. My bad.
I'm moving it.
Oops.
See, man, that's technology for you. This was a technology, man. My apologies, man. My apologies.
We getting it together.
Today, we got a special guest in the house. You know what I'm saying? He gonna help us understand a little bit of his world of the juvenile detention, correctional facilities, or however you call it. I don't know. He could tell you. He'll
right
explain
on
that
Quincy.
No, actually,
No,
he'll tell us. All right, this is my dog, man. This is Big Meats. At work, they call him C.O. Kenny or whatever. So, but Big Meats, that's my dog, man. We grew up together, went to high school, all that. We've been knowing each other since teenagers, probably younger.
All right.
Big Meats, man, what up, bro?
What's good, man?
What's up?
Much. So, won't you take us into the world of the juvenile correctional facility and let us know which one you work at and the difference between like a county or the county and up the road or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the exact terminology, but you can help us out with that. What's up, man?
All right, so I'm currently a CO at Cuyahoga Hills Juvenile Correctional Facility. A lot of people think that's the Deuce. The Deuce is like the juvenile county. That's downtown.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Green Road. That's where you go when you get sentenced. That's where you go when you go up the road. You know what I mean? When you get juvie life, that's where you serve your juvie life at.
Okay,
wow.
juvie
How
life.
long is juvie life?
That's till you 21, till your 21st birthday.
And then it's like an option, or do you go on to the big house?
Well, it depends. You could be labeled a SYO, which is a serious youth offender.
Wow.
That's when you got adult time over your head. So you might be 16, you might have juve life, so you from in there from 16 to you 21. When you turn 21 on your 21st birthday, that following morning, you get released. The state can no longer hold you after that. Unless you get your adult sentence invoked, and then you'll get transferred to an adult facility.
Okay, that's how it works.
That's
I never knew that.
Oh, that's why you're here.
Exactly, to break all that down, because that's why I wanted to do. That's why I asked. I'm like, I want to know.
So, what's the most common thing that the little homies are in there for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like with the most common.
Yeah, well, to keep it funky, it's not nothing common. Everything that's in the adult system, I have in the juvenile system. We have sex offenders, we have murderers, we have drug dealers, we have gang members. Anything you can think of that your older family member, counterpart, spouse, what have you, is locked up in the adult system. We got them in the juvenile system.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's what's up. So there's no like a lot of like more robbers than rapists or nothing like that.
No,
It's just basically.
I'm gonna say this: it's a lot of gun specs. A lot of
so that's what
a
I
lot
guess
of juveniles running around here with guns. A lot. A whole bunch, probably more now after that 1400 stimmy hit.
Yeah, out here.
It's like, man, give me my 1400.
It's a lot of high
that I
points
got
on the street right now. It's a lot of high points on the street.
Oh, High Point, the worst gun in the world.
It's a lot of high points on the street.
Yeah, see that only the gun owners know that how crappy that gun is.
Only that's every street dude first gun, I think.
Except for us. Well, me, I ain't get that. I can't get out. I did my research on that thing. I'm cool.
You said,
yeah. That one probably might fall apart on you while you're trying to shoot it.
Oh man,
it's terrible, man.
It'll
jam and everything. It's terrible. Never get that if you ever get a gun.
No. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now when you said, okay, what made you become what you are? Was it just like, man, I need a job, and this just opened up, or was like, I want to help people. I want to help kids.
You know, that's actually a good question. Well, just based off my size, people always be like, "Oh, you should be a bouncer, security, CO." People always like offer to me being a CO a lot of different times. I actually had a different job. One of my coworkers I was cool with, I ended up getting cool with a family member who was actually got me the job. Now,
Oh, okay.
we was at the bar, just shooting the shit. I ain't really even take it seriously. We was talking about it. He said, man, I could get you in there, you know what I mean? But I told him, I said, it's funny that you say that because I always thought about being a CEO, but I thought adult, you see what I mean? I'm a person that don't believe in coincidences, so I thought it was fate that I even bumped into him.
Wow.
And I was recently just having that thought of making a job change, though. I mean, one thing led to another, I'm in there. It's been 3 years later, you know what I mean?
Oh,
But
wow.
Been hanging in there.
I've been hanging in there.
The Benny's probably great. You know what I'm saying? Everything is cool.
It's the state, so I ain't got nothing to say about it.
Layoff, no. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
It's
Job
the
security,
state, bro.
yes.
No complaints.
Good
Cigars.
times. Hey. All right, so do you think that was the right decision to be in the juvenile system instead of the adult system?
Well,
Or would
to
you
me,
or
I kinda
which one
just
would you
look at
rather
it.
be at?
I would rather be with the juveniles.
Okay.
And with that being said, don't get it twisted. The juveniles is harder than the adult system.
I believe it
The
because
adult-
they children.
Exactly,
yeah.
and a lot of kids don't have a sense of fear. In the adult system, you do something stupid, just an example, it doesn't happen on a regular, but as an example, you assault a CO.
Yeah.
You're going to catch additional charges. You're going to get additional time. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You're going to think of that. You know what I mean? You're going to think, I got a family to get back to, this, that, and the other. When you 14, 15, 16, because I was that age before, so I remember thinking I was like bulletproof and
Yeah, I
can't
mean, we
nobody
all
tell me
had that.
nothing. I'm going to do what I want to do.
I know how that feels.
But not when you at that age, you think short term. You don't think in the long term. You don't think that my actions right now is going to add additional 3 years or something like that to my sentence. You know what I mean? So
Right.
and then you young, so you like, oh, I'm 16. I got Juve life, which is another 5 years or whatever. Had you 6 years, you like, shit, I'm still gonna be 21. I'm still kicking. You see what I'm saying? Like,
my max.
I can make that back.
That's a
You know what I
max.
mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it just be like that. Like that's another thing that's crazy about the juvenile system. When you commit even what would be considered a felony, you only get adjudicated as a juvenile. So that's why it doesn't go on your record. You don't get convicted of a felony when you're a juvenile. You get adjudicated of a felony.
Right.
So that's why I get suspended to just your juvenile record.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So is that
Drop
sealed
some
after
jewels.
you can apply to get it sealed though.
Okay.
And it's kind of, like I don't have no police background or nothing like that. I don't consider myself the police. Being a correction officer and being police are two different things. I must say that.
Okay.
It's two
yeah,
different things.
You know, people still think that's po-po.
No, right.
Yeah.
I get it all the time though, but that's two different things. Police job is to catch you. I'm gonna see on my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a job.
Trying to keep order.
I'm just trying to keep order, but
Right.
especially in my job, I couldn't even really call it a jail. It's really like a boot camp.
Okay.
It's really like a boot camp.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Like in my facility, we don't have cells. It's open dorm setting. So the best example I could give somebody, if you ever see Gridiron Gang, how when The Rock just sitting there and it's all these beds around him, he just in there. That's how it is.
So
it's
there's
two
no
rooms.
separate. Like, so if somebody went to the hole or whatever, or do they even have that?
No, we do have a. It's not called the hole.
I mean,
it's the hole.
What is it called?
It's just seclusion. We call it seclusion.
Oh,
okay.
So
Just a
it's
better word.
seclusion.
In-house
right.
suspension.
Exactly. Everything is gentle when it's juvenile.
Seclusion.
Everything. Right. We have We don't have the. It's the hole.
But it's called
But
seclusion.
in juvenile, it's seclusion.
Okay.
So we have seclusion cells.
Yeah, so instead of getting on punishment, you're gonna be on seclusion.
Yeah.
All
If
right.
any kids
I got you.
listening, it's gladiator school. Please understand that. It's different when you're on the streets. You can avoid this neighborhood. You can avoid this person, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, but
A lot of you kids can't handle the fact that you beefing with somebody and you locked in a room with that person. Ain't no guns in jail.
You gotta deal with your hands.
You gotta deal with your hands, and you gotta eat. You know, use the bathroom. I don't know if I can say that, but you know, use the bathroom. You gotta eat.
Because you can
No, I'm
do
just
that.
saying, like, you
Everybody
gotta
use the
eat. You gotta eat. You gotta shit. All this person with the person you beefing with. I don't know if nobody, like, you don't know what that's like, but to have that
I
constant
don't wanna know.
Me neither.
high alert
actually
on your
take-
back, you know what I mean?
To have to
Mhm.
go to the bathroom with somebody right there, it's like I
'Cause
don't
you-
know, man. That's just.
That's just
I mean,
jail.
you get you. I guess you can get used
Yeah,
to it.
because you
but-
gotta go. You gotta
But
go.
it's just the fact that you got, like, especially in like an adult prison when it's just you and your cellie, and you got the toilet with the sink on top of the toilet, and you got to do everything with the toilet. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Exactly.
wash your hands with it. You got
gotta
to take a
shit,
drink
piss.
from it. Yeah, that's just
Wash
a lot,
up
man.
from it,
Yeah.
everything, man. And
That's
this
just a lot.
it's ridiculous, man. You know, that's why knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Go, you know.
Yeah, if I can say anything, just take the time out with your kids, though, because a lot of the kids that's in my facility, it just come from, you know, backgrounds where maybe mom, dad, big brother, uncle, somebody just didn't take the time. Somebody just didn't, and before they started their day, just say, what's going on with you? You know, what's going on in your world? You know what I mean? Because maybe they might tell you, oh, little Ray, you know, got a pistol. He talking about he want to go do this, he want to go do that. You just need to know, man. Ask questions to your kids, man. Because once they get to me, it's too late.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then that's about right. But they still have a chance because it's still more.
No, they
general.
definitely do. They definitely do. And I let the kids know that. You know what I mean? I try to instill them. What's really surprising about the situation, a lot of kids in my facility actually want structure. They actually want discipline.
Wow.
They want somebody to give a fuck. You know what I mean? And tell them that, hey, yo, you tripping, or don't do that. Let's do it this way.
Be in
or,
the house
you know what I
by.
mean? Yeah,
They,
You know what I'm saying?
actually
they
want
missing
that.
daddies and OGs basically.
That's what they missing
that's
because
what
they
they
locked up or dead or just don't give a, you know what I'm saying?
It's more so they just not caring though. I mean, yeah, we grew up in a generation where the OGs was dying too. You know what I mean? But I still had somebody to model after, whether it be a big brother, cousin, like I said, an uncle, just anything. Like you'll really be surprised how a small conversation about somebody what's on their mind could really enlighten or change the direction they going down.
Yeah, they might not have thought of that. You know what I'm saying? Thought of it like that. And they look at you and you say a different perspective. Like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I won't do this or that.
Yeah.
You know?
So, is there a situation where parents will like send the child to juvenile because they can't handle them, or it doesn't work that way? How does that go?
I don't really run into a case where a parent want to send their kid to juvenile, because I don't think no parent want to send their kid to juvenile.
I mean, it's a couple.
But I understand where a parent just feel like this the last option. They have no other option. You know what I mean? Like, which I just don't understand. Like, for instance, I grew up, I couldn't have female company. You know what I mean? These kids, 15.
At least.
They
I'm just saying,
all
they
night.
15, they got 2 babies already
Right,
at 15.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
it's,
Like,
it's ridiculous.
what I'm
It's
saying, I couldn't
insane.
even take a girl nowhere at 15. Like,
Right.
I had no place to take her. You know what I'm saying?
It was just, I mean, I could. I mean, I when you say not having female company, I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Not saying that you could not have a
No,
female.
yeah, like I got
but
females
it's
over,
like
but just like
it was restrictions with
it was a
You
time
had to-
limit.
yeah.
Oh, it's getting dark. It's time for her to go.
what you about to do, little mama?
Yeah, you had to.
I know your mama and somebody looking for
Right.
you.
It's
You had
time
to figure it
go,
out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to
Yeah,
figure it out
right.
to go ahead and make that happen. You know what I'm
These
saying?
kids today, they in
Man,
13 in hotel rooms going
I don't know how
live.
they do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know
Talk
how they
about
doing
tap
it, but
in.
they-
I'm
yeah,
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah,
What's
I'm
happening?
at the tally. Who got you a hotel room and left you?
Exactly.
I couldn't even come home with something
That's
my mama
it.
didn't buy without her
Irresponsible.
asking questions.
Where
You know
you
what I
get
mean?
that? Where you get that?
And it be
Yeah.
tripping me out when the young dudes be like, when they see you going to the store and they be like, they see somebody old enough to buy them tobacco products and all that. Hey, bro, hey, OG, can you buy me a shell? And I be looking at them like, bruh, why do you want a shell? Like, I understand what you want to do, but you want to put that on me to
Right.
get you something that, you know what I'm saying, you want me to break the law for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically.
And then they be mad at you when you tell them, nah, man, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, you don't need that no way.
But kids today feel like they are owed a lot. A lot of kids today feel entitled.
Because they don't get
Yes, they
their
do.
ass whooped no more.
Right.
I mean, that's my
That's
opinion.
part of it.
That's just my
That could
opinion.
be it,
Discipline.
too.
Let's say
That could be it,
discipline.
too, though.
Yeah, see, I'm sure you got your ass whipped a few times.
Plenty.
Yeah,
More than a
it was,
few.
we know I was trying to
More
make it
than a
light
few.
because it's juvenile. But I'm just saying, you came out good, man. No felonies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You was, you know what I'm saying. You worked with the
It
state.
helps. It helps,
Yeah.
though.
Not
Like, at
saying-
the
not
time,
saying
I
it's-
didn't see it. I
Yeah.
didn't understand.
Right.
But
He's
looking
like,
back,
man, I
I'm
ain't trying to
grown
get no
now.
ass
Yeah,
whipping. But
Right.
it's I think, as like you said, it helps. Ass whippers helps. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? 'Cause
Discipline. You
I'd
know.
rather-
But
I'd
babies
rather-
having babies these days.
Yeah.
I if anything, I just say that I just think that people don't have the right support system and resources to take care of kids in 2021 and slightly before 2021. The day and age we live in is really advanced, and it's really you can't like when I was growing up. My parents could keep stuff from me. You know what I mean? They could shelter me from certain
Now
things.
it's all over the.
It's all like I have, friends. They don't let their kids have cell phones. Let's say that. They don't think that when they with their friends that do got the cell phone, they don't have an Instagram, a
But
TikTok, a Snapchat.
at least it's minimized to a point.
It's the wave. I don't think it is
Yeah.
minimized. Technology
No, I'm
is the
saying if
wave.
they don't
like,
have the phone themselves, then they got to be around somebody or go to the library.
but that
and
actually
use
just make you thirstier.
it does.
You figure
That
it
just
out.
make you thirstier though. Like
You right?
Michael Hicks said any kind of youth program similar to Big Brothers that can reach out to the youth.
currently, especially with COVID, none that I can think of right now. Like in my facility, we do have visitors, like church folks, college, different speakers. We do have visitors as far as stuff like that, which is, in my opinion, is a good thing. But if they come to talk to your kid in that facility, it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? To the
Yeah.
point, I mean, if your kid want to listen to after the fact, like, understand that the kids in my facility, out of 100 kids, one gonna listen. 100 of them won't help. 100 of them want you to bring them up. You know what I mean? They all want you to help them to be the better them, but only one of them is gonna make the sacrifice to listen. You see what I mean? So out of 100 kids, I might not have one. Out of 100, I might have one that's gonna get out and flourish. And it's just been a point in their life that nothing that defined them. It's just a time in their life, like, hey, everybody got that story. I did XYZ when I was younger, blah, six, skipping the third, you know what I mean? But the other 99, they gonna get out, they gonna go right back to Big Bro who in the street shooting pistols and doing whatever. Or going back, emulate
selling that
Big
same
Uncle,
ounce.
the weight man, you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
some, these dudes don't be really selling no weed, no weight, man.
No, they don't, man.
They had I ain't never seen. Well, I've never seen like some of these people, man, that I know personally. They're still selling the same ounce of weed. I'm like, man, this game is not for you, brother. Like,
you gotta hang that up.
you done had that same ounce for about the last 6 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're approaching 40, my man. You need to go head on and give it up. Like, I understand, like, okay, if you just doing it and you got a couple friends that you know what I'm saying, that really don't want to go out in the street and just like, you know what I'm saying, deal with people, you get a little extra, you know what I mean? Cool. But if you out here trying to be the plug and you got that same ounce, then you just need to quit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Sit on down, you know what I'm saying, and leave that alone.
Yeah. Oh, so make sure everybody like, subscribe, share, follow WeUpRadio.com. Make sure you go on YouTube.
We Up Radio,
DOT.com.
There it is.
And you can
DOT
always
com.
call in and chop it up with us. 216-772-3393.
It's rolling across your
Come,
screen at the top.
Come,
you know what
come
I'm
on and
saying?
talk to Big Meech, man. You know what I'm saying?
Holla at him.
Get,
you know what
get
I'm
some
saying?
advice that may help you. You know what I'm saying? Deter your child from becoming a juvenile in the juvenile system. You know what I'm saying? So
Like he said, when you get to him, it's too late.
yeah, because
You know
he
what
up
I'm
the
saying?
road. He in the big house. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go there. Like,
once we meet, we might as well just get acquainted. We about to get BFFs. You
Nah,
know
you
what I
gonna be in
mean?
there for a few.
You might as well tell me your likes and dislikes, and I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
mine. You know,
Right. So is there any certain rules between like like CO and inmate. I don't know. Do y'all call it inmate?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Inmates.
Because I mean, you know, it's supposed to be
Or
more-
youth. We refer to them as youth
All right,
inmates. I
youth.
told everything
Youthful
gentle.
offenders.
We gonna call- we
Everything
could just call them-
gentle.
yeah, we
It's
call them
gentle,
offenders.
right?
We
It's
call them
gentle.
offenders.
So, is there a certain thing like a certain way that the facility want the CO
Yeah,
to interact as, you know what I'm saying, with the youth?
yeah. Like cattle.
Oh man, put
Yeah.
him in this room, get him in that room.
Yeah, just moving
Like
like
That's
sheep.
it. The job requires you. All right. The first thing about being a CO is be a CO. That's the number one rule. Be a CO
Right.
first. You're not their friend. You're not their family.
Right.
You're not their role model. You're not their advisor. Whatever the case may have.
You just
You're a
doing your
CO.
job.
The role model part, I would say, they should be more of a role model.
You gotta
because-
lead by example though, but to an extent, the state don't want you having bonds like that with the kids. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean, not
Yeah.
saying to create.
Now, with that
like
being said,
bond, but-
now you asked me what the state expects you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now the human nature in me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but now remember, don't incriminate yourself.
No, I know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. We all know.
No, I'm just saying
it might be
what I'm saying. Now listen, what I'm saying, the human nature in anybody, especially a kid,
Right.
especially a kid that might remind you of yourself,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a relationship with them. I done seen
I
truth
mean,
for
but you already there with
like
them
I'm
every
saying.
day,
That's what I'm
so-
saying. Like, so imagine that. So I do 40 hours. That's the minimum. I could do double, so it could be 70 plus hours in a week. I'm really around the kids more than I'm around my own family.
Yeah.
You're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna grow a bond with certain kids. Like I know this kid, his favorite rapper might be Lil Durk, or
Yeah.
this kid he like basketball, or this kid he into
So
racing
y'all
or
let
stuff
them
like that.
listen to the current music and all that?
Well, they have access to an extent, you know what I mean? But they have tablets.
Really?
So we ain't getting into the conversation how sweet it is in there. Though. That's what I
Okay,
say.
what are some of the amenities
We don't wanna-
in
we don't wanna
Hotel
make it appealing.
Juvie?
We don't want to make it appealing.
Hotel
We don't wanna make
Juvie.
it appealing.
But you gotta let them. You let. Okay, I want to know what's
It's
in there,
it's a
man.
gift and a curse, though. It's a
Yeah,
gift and a
yeah,
curse.
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You still got to go through.
And
Comforts of
the
home.
way, before I get into it, the way I would describe it, it's giving you a false idea of what real jail is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it make talk to a lot of kids. They be like, man, send me up the road. This too soft. You know what I mean? This too easy. Like send me up the road. Let me go with they
Man,
childish in here.
I'm gonna tell you a story,
Yeah.
and this, I don't talk about this much, but I was actually incarcerated at the facility where he works at.
Oh, a lot of people.
When I was there, it was like this around every 19 minutes. The place went crazy.
Yeah.
I think I fought at least once a day for the whole
That's the old hills.
6 to 8 months. Then the next one, the year, I think I fought every day.
Yeah.
At some point.
That's the old. That's how
Or
it says
either like
gladiator
every
school.
other day, it was
Yeah.
like we just fought to fight. Like I didn't understand why I was fighting. I just duck and swing. I ain't I don't even know
that's
what
the
this is
way.
about, bro. But if this is what you want, let's get it.
Right.
It was really literally shit like that. Like we would just get into a fight over some stupid shit. We was kids.
Right.
But we was wilding out in that bitch. I done been in every box in that building, all 8 of them,
See, he
and the
definitely
one in the
know.
front
He
office.
definitely know. Yeah, he definitely know.
Damn.
That's why he
they
said
used
like you say the box and like
Yeah.
ain't no
Yeah,
ain't
I
no
was one of the
hole, you know.
first 3 people. I was in the wave of the first 3 people who got their GED there.
So let me ask you this: how long did you stay in the box? What's the longest you ever did in the box?
30 days.
See, they right now the most you could do. Say you just
No,
You
but
said-
I busted dude head wide open.
no. I'm about to
See,
tell you. So listen.
this was back before when you could fight and fuck somebody up and you wouldn't catch a case.
No, you still don't. Though you get 3 hours in the box.
That's
so we
the longest?
Man, listen here. We sitting here at the table like this, right?
Yeah.
I want your cornbread. You don't want to give it to me, right?
Right.
I'm gonna take your cornbread.
That's an hour in the box.
It's 3. That's
It's
the
3?
max. It's 3 hours.
They
So
gonna max you for
that's
that
the
offense?
max. That 3 out. That's the most you can get for a violent
So
offense.
ain't no more 30 days.
you
or
would
a week
need
or none of that.
need a heinous crime like you.
No, we was bad for real.
No,
Like,
that's what
we
I'm
was
saying.
bad
You would
for
need
real.
you would need something heinous, and then they got to get it signed off
And
by
this
the
is
higher
before-
ups to do more than 24
Matter
hours.
of fact, I think the longest I spent in the box, now that I really think of it, in juvenile and in the hills. When I was in Tico, I did 30, but in the hills, I only did, the most I ever did was probably, I want to say 10 days.
Yeah, ain't no more of that.
They gave me 10 days in there, and they hated me because I kept having to pee. It was like, you ain't about to get nothing to drink no more if you keep, because they had to let it. We were juveniles. Don't forget, people, we juveniles. We was young kids.
Exactly.
So they're not going to treat us with the intensity of an adult prison.
Exactly.
I heard a staff there one day say, we was in the assembly, and they said, I'm going to tell y'all, 70% of y'all is going to move on to bigger and better institutions.
That's true.
Wow.
And I remember the day it happened, I was sitting right there. It was who was the gym staff, light skinned dude. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute. But he said, he walked right up to me. It was like, it could be you. You don't know. I was like, yes, I do. I ain't never coming back. Motherfucker. But it was true, though.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, I wrote about it in a song. They groom you for prison and juvenile.
That's exactly what I said. They do.
Teach you how to be. It's like when you herding cattle, they don't keep the calves with the grown up cows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They teach the baby calves how to go into the trial, how to come out. You know, they teaching us how to be herded.
Yeah.
It's like preschool for prison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They teach you how to be an inmate as you grow older, and it's real fucked up because no matter how smart you is, and I'm talking about myself for real, you never shake institutionalization. It become part of your core, and you don't even understand why. And that's the resentment that I have for, like, correctional places and stuff like that, because I ain't asked for all this residue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely PTSD.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
it is.
definitely that involved. That's why so much unhealthy. It's a lot of mentally unhealthy people due to the suffering, the mental suffering. See, any incarceration now is more mental than it is physical incarceration.
Yeah, it's funny that he say that, though.
They try to lock up your mind, and that's wrong. That's diabolically wrong to me. Like, they giving the kids tablets so they can run whatever media they want to the kids. They programming them at an early age. Oh yeah, you can get this, but you can't get this. But you can get this. You can't get the no educational shit for real, but you can get this Young Jeezy album and all this old.
True.
You know, they listen to the music that motivates them to do what they do. And I ain't mad. I never knock nobody for doing what they got to do to survive. But when you out here just doing fuck shit, like to me, it's fuck shit when you pull a gun and start killing people. Let's go to the phone, man. Somebody had to interrupt me.
What's up, Carter? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Well, this is Chief. I'm calling from the DNA Level C, Cleveland. You already know.
All right, Chief. What up with it? What's going
on?
Not much. I appreciate the show, man. I like the direction, and I like the experience you guys are talking on.
Okay.
And I had a partner, and me and him was talking about how we could get involved just on the community level, and we got to going back and forth about what age could we have a direct impact, as far as especially the young brothers. And I said, before preteen, I was thinking like maybe as early as maybe like 6 to 10, and he said no, he was thinking more of like 15 to 19. But
Yeah,
I mean, like I was talking about
listen.
juveniles. I think some of them are getting caught in the system as early as 12. So I wonder, when you start having that conversation with them about the trouble they can get in before they even reach that system. Like you said, by the time they get to you, it's too late.
I can tell you this, Chief. I can tell you this, like, Albert Einstein said you are who you are by the time you 8 years old. You got to get to their parents. You can't get to them. Their parents is who set the pace, or the lack of, is who set the pace for their life. And so, with that being said, as a child develops, it's learning. We all born a blank slate. Everything you know been shown to you. Somebody in some way showed it to you and told it to you. You learned it. So you got to get to the people that's teaching these kids. Because once you are who you are, all you can do is make the conscious choice not to be that.
Yeah, so basically, that sounds like more like a reaching the parent program instead of the
Right,
kids.
that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
You got to educate these
Yeah.
dudes that's coming home. They have fatherhood initiative programs in prison, but they ain't worth a damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to
Right.
have actual, for the ones who eligible, you got to teach them how to come home and be a father. We didn't have, what class did we have where they taught us about banking in school?
None. Banking, business, none of
We
that.
need all that
They
type of
didn't
knowledge.
teach us about grant writing in high school, did they?
Sure
Or
did.
did I miss it?
Coding,
Nah.
computers.
None
all
of that. They taught us none of that because for a reason.
Yep. So we can do that other thing and get caught up
So
in the
we'll
jail
depend
prison
on them.
system.
And wait
But
on
you
them to
made it.
feed
You
us.
made it.
Right.
You made a significant point about lacking a parent too.
Yeah.
Because what if you have that single parent that's there, but they're not? They're physically there, but they're not, mentally there. As far as okay, you got a woman who's the head of the household. This is her only son. She spends 16 hours a day working. He's there basically going between school and the street, and he's almost like he's raising himself. And they just don't have that personal bond and relationships.
Well,
So,
that's something a mother.
like-
Something parents should develop with their children at an early age, and if you don't develop it, it's never. I have never seen a case where it just came back full blown like it never was gone.
But
If
in
you
the-
don't
in the
build that
case-
relationship, and it's basically time and memories.
Yeah.
If you don't spend time and have memories, then hey,
No,
it's gonna
listen,
pass you by.
in a case like that with the 16 hours, that's how I was raised. I was a latchkey kid. You
Me
know
too.
what I mean? I
Me
was
too.
I mean, we
I was
all
coming
basically have
home,
that.
telling the school that, oh yeah, somebody about to come pick me up, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, somebody at the house, and I'm taking my key out my shoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just playing like I ain't at home. Anybody
You
come to
better
the
not
house,
lose
I might
this
not
key.
open no door. You know what I
No,
mean?
I
no,
used to
no,
hate
no.
losing my key,
My
man.
mother, I ain't never lost my key my
I
whole
I
life.
definitely lost my
Yeah.
key. But I say all that
I
to
was
say
too
this.
scared. That
My
was
mama-
more. I keep up with that more than my cell phone.
Hell yeah, you
I
got to.
always know where my keys at. If they ain't where I think they at, somebody that stole my keys.
Right.
It's a habit I get from that.
All right, Chief, man, I appreciate you calling in, man. And
Thanks for calling.
you know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe, like, follow,
Yeah,
share, and
become
all
part
that.
of it.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Become part of the We Up Radio experience, man. And we appreciate it.
I enjoyed it, fellas.
All right,
Good
man.
looking.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, man.
That was Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chief
yeah.
himself.
Yes, sir. That's
But
what's
see,
up,
you
man.
know, one thing I used to always wonder about, like I've always been analytical. Like I look at shit and I try to analyze and psychologically profile,
Break
Try to
it
break
down.
it down, yeah.
break it down
Yeah,
and shit.
break it
So
down.
Nice chunks.
I used to always wonder, like, how do the officers sleep, like knowing that they are in charge of keeping humans captive? Like, did
Like
it,
a
did
baby?
it did it bother
Like
you?
a baby.
Like a baby.
Does it help you, like?
People on the outside looking in, they look at it beyond just a job. This is a job for me. Like, when I go to work, I get rewarded by giving back to the kids. Don't get me wrong. That's one of the best things about my job.
Yeah.
But it's the best things about just that, my job. That's just like if you get up and you flipping burgers, you get up and you cleaning hotels,
That's
you
your
go
job.
into a 401k job, you're a CEO. It's your job. It's not you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a job and it's a good job. I'm proud of it.
Your mic off.
Yeah.
My mic on now?
Yep, it's breaking up.
The reason
There you
why
go.
I asked that question is because I remember a time when I was in the hole, and they had these little sliders on the window where they just slide open, look in there on you, close it back. And so one day I was porter, and they had made me a trustee to sweep outside the cells and pass out the food and stuff. I was, trying to pass out the food because they got extras anyway. I remember opening the chute and looking in there, and I was like, it was one of them epiphany moments where I was like, God damn, it's two humans in there. There's two human beings in there coexisting in a zoo. It just made me feel like I was watching the gorillas at the zoo. Like, you know how you go to that one page, there'd be some orangutans, some chimpanzees, they all in there together. And it's just a big, thick glass, and everything metal and concrete. Ain't no escape. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I felt when I looked in that window. And I got close partners who became COs And they just like they said basically what he said. It's just a job, bro. I don't even look into it. And I just be, I don't know. It just made me always want to ask that question.
That's what I say when you get to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You get to me, it's too late. When you come to in my house, you know, the facility. When you come in, that's what I call it. You know, when you come in my house, I didn't put you there. I didn't do the crime that got you there. I didn't give you the sentence. I didn't get none of the factors. But what I am in him. It's the person that run the facility where you now gotta come to now.
And I'm in charge.
You know what I mean? Like, so that
sleep.
Yeah, it's not
So I
personal.
get what you saying. I get
Yeah,
it.
it's not personal.
So we're gonna talk about like the food. Like what is
Man,
like
they
the,
eating
like
good.
you know what I'm saying?
All right, so
I mean for the juvenile, because I know it's different. You know
They
what I'm
get a
saying?
snack. They still get snacks.
Oh man, listen.
They got
I
vendors.
used
I'm
to
gonna
have
get
like
into that
6
amenities.
people on Lifetime snacks.
Oh man, he in there.
So they got better food
For breakfast, what do they have?
Yeah, what kind of food? would
Okay,
they-
no,
A peanut butter and jelly
state issue.
sandwich.
It just depends. Sometimes, I mean,
A lot
it's
of
juvenile.
It's one
Okay, so
day.
let's do it like that. Let's break
One
it down.
day.
So let's just say it's a Monday. You might have eggs and biscuits.
That's it.
That's it. You might just have eggs and biscuits. You know
Orange
what I mean?
juice.
It's
I would
gonna be some
orange
gravy
juice.
on the
Yeah,
biscuit.
you gonna have some juice and some milk. It might be some gravy, but it's just eggs and biscuits. You know what I mean?
I had to trade my eggs for somebody else's biscuits.
Breakfast might be the
worst one.
Yeah, that might be the worst one because they don't really put it ever something quick. It might be just something. It might be just oatmeal, milk, and the juice and the fruit. Might be something quick. A lot of kids don't even get up for breakfast. That get them in trouble though.
I ain't missing.
Yeah,
bread.
like,
trouble for that?
yeah. Oh yeah, you can't.
You can't go on a hunger strike.
You can't do that, but at the same time, like, all right, we got units. You know, it's 8 units in my facility. Our unit get called up. They radio and say, "Hey, bring your unit down." So it's 15. I got 15 youth. 14 youth want to go. That 15 kid, he want to sleep in. He don't want eggs and biscuits today. He knows it's eggs and biscuits day. It ain't even no point in him getting up, go down there, play the role, and come back.
Right.
He gonna refuse.
Right.
So now, with 15 kids, usually more than that. With 15 kids, it's just me and maybe just you. We just me and you. Now this kid don't want to leave. All kids got to be supervised at all times.
Right.
At the facility, don't have an extra body to sit with this kid because he gonna get rolled up, which ain't nothing, but he gonna get rolled up for refusing a directive. You know what I mean? You know what that means? So he not gonna get a Pop-Tart that night. That's it. Like that. You just don't get a Pop-Tart for the day. You didn't make your
don't
day.
get his
You
honey
got
You lost your snack.
You lost your snack for the day. That's free that the state issue you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever had like a time when like you was fearful that stuff was really about to get like real? So since you've been working there,
Okay.
Like
the
where you
real
feel like-
fear, the real fear on my end was when I first started. You know what I mean? When you first, especially in the juvenile system, you come in, kids their attention span is all over the place. So when they see a new person, it's like a new toy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I'm coming there 6'4", 300 plus pounds, whatever the case may be. I see a dude, he 5'11", scrawny, but all the kids are giving him respect. You know what I mean? They like, what's up? Well, he like, hey, yo, straighten up. They straighten up. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, yo, straighten up. They, fuck you. Who the fuck is you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we turn this bitch up. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, though. But it's all a mental thing, though. Like, the number one thing, you can't back down, though. You never back down to a youth. You do that, you're going to lose your power. You know what I mean? You might as well quit. You back down to a youth, you might as well quit. You never going to get your respect back. And word travel fast in jail.
as fuck.
I'm talking about from this side of the building. I'm talking about it just happened. You know what I mean? Like I come in to work and the kids like, hey yo, you hear about what? Damn, how you hear? Like
Wow.
they know.
Wow.
But the kids get a lot, especially with COVID. I got to speak on this, especially with
Talk about the
COVID.
issue, you know.
With COVID, the youth and this state issue. This not by me. Let me clarify this. They done got cell phones because you know to keep it cut down. You know the spreading of the germs and everything. They issued them cell phones for a temporary time. Like you said, they got tablets. They get snacks. They get out of insty food. The kids that got Popeyes, the kids that got Chick-fil-A, the kids that got Subway, the kids that got McDonald's, Burger King, anything you can think of.
Outside food.
Anything, this COVID, you know what I mean? It's one of those things they trying to do to appease the kids to kind of keep the commotion
was
down.
a whole bunch of fights.
No, it's actually
Nigga be like, you owe me lifetime choice dinner.
Yeah, now that happens too though.
Like,
Like,
nigga, I ain't about to give you none of this McDonald's. We gotta
no,
work.
a kid will pay you though, but yeah, when you start getting into that high class, that McDonald's, you gonna have to kill a kid for one.
I want the Happy Meal, the chicken nugget, and the Big Mac. They going in, huh?
You get a whole ass McDonald's.
But just
you
like
think I'm giving you choice off this tray. They be like that,
Dude.
Man.
On the holidays, they get holiday treatment. Like Halloween, Halloween they come down for dinner. They get a big candy bag.
What?
Thanksgiving they get home cooked meals, turkey dressing,
So
2
they
plates.
still
They
box
getting
the line off.
Yeah, yes sir. Yes sir.
Man.
Remind me to tell y'all what that is.
Well, all right, we'll do that. Box the line off, all right? Because I really don't know what that is.
Yeah, I want to know now.
So,
it's mainly the way that it's an easy way to keep count of them.
Right. So
basically.
So have you picked up any habits, like incarcerating habits?
Who, me?
No, not you. I'm talking about him.
Oh, yeah.
Big me.
Let me see.
Find yourself like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a pack of
kids in
noodles
the
or something.
lingo, like the kids is really smart. Like it's really like some bright futures in juveniles. Like a lot of kids are just victim of circumstance. I will give them that though. But the music I listen to, my vernacular, it's definitely changed being around the youth. It keeps me young. Like
So what about food though? Like what do you pick up any of that?
Not really. I ain't making
made
no
a piece
breaks.
out of
I
noodles
ain't
yet?
making no breaks. No, I try to tell the kid. So when you start doing that on the ouch, that's when you know you institutionalized.
But see, it's also something to be said about the fact that a corrections officer actually serves more time than the average offender.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Because they
when
incarcerated too. They can't just get up and walk out the front door.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They
You
got to
say-
call
If
and
you
be
get
like, hey, I got to go
they
home.
might
You
call
serve
you and
time
say,
with
hey,
them.
you got to stay another 8. Somebody called off on 3rd. You got to stay another 8.
Oh yeah, you
froze.
you
Yeah,
serving
you
time
did that.
too.
So then add that to the stress of it. So now, most people on the outs don't want to do 16 hours around their own kids. You know what I mean? And your own kids got respect for you. You see what I mean? They listen to an extent. Some of them, right?
Some
Most
they
of them.
supposed to.
I'm doing 16 around a kid who just killed somebody or whatever the case may be. His mama didn't ever tell him stop, don't do that. Daddy never said stop, don't do that. Now he come see old Meech talking about, hey, don't do that. He looking like, oh, you must not know who I am, huh? I do this.
See, I couldn't do
let
that
them know,
shit because
though?
I've been and smacked the shit out of them little bad
and I'm
niggas.
glad you spoke on that.
Like, pow,
Also
shut
understand the job is not difficult. The job itself is not difficult at all. It's not. You know what I mean? If I tell you, hey, I'm gonna give you $100, don't let nobody pass this line or don't let nobody in this room, you gonna not let nobody in that room. It don't fuck who it is. All I know, if I don't let nobody in this room, I'm gonna get $100. It's the same thing with the job though. You know what I mean? So
Don't let nobody in that room.
don't let nobody in that room. Like
Pass that line.
that's what it kind of boiled down to.
But see, I wouldn't have the right temperament for that type of job
I
myself.
don't think I would either.
Yeah, that's how I said. That's the number one thing.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
bitch ass, C.O. Montana.
See, now you got a case though. Again, these is juveniles. It's not like you punch Ray who a
I'm gonna
grown
find
man.
out where the
you know what I
blind
mean?
spot
Like-
is with the camera. As soon as I find out where the blind spot is, come here, little dude. Let me holler at you.
Yeah, that's the number one thing though. Like you gotta, it's being a CO. How I would describe, you gotta be an alpha male. You gotta know who you is. You can't be a CO still trying to find out who you is. You know what I mean? You can't let a 15-year-old like. When you in a screaming match with a 15-year-old kid who ain't got no bills, no responsibility, can't take care of theyself, but you really want to fight that kid, you lost. You see what I mean? You lost. You've already lost. He's won.
I'm losing the first day, bro.
He locked up 24 hours a day. This is entertainment.
too.
You know what I mean? You
That's
really
why
taking
I
it
wouldn't even
personal.
get through the day,
Exactly.
man.
But he
Just
been
playing.
bored. Yeah, he been bored for the last
Yeah, and this is
66 days.
entertaining him.
Right.
Yeah,
That's just like on the streets. You know, somebody, they talking shit, you getting mad, they gonna what? Continue to
It's a
talk
little-
shit.
it's a
You know what I'm saying? They
little
gonna get
different,
shit.
right? A little different in the street. You can handle it differently.
You can, but then at the
It's the
same time, you
same.
can't. Like, it's,
Come over here, my nigga. Let me
I
show
think
you.
In the
I-
street, you can walk
I try
away.
I try the humble approach most of the cases,
yeah,
but sometimes when the humble run out, it's like a glass of water.
it can never run
Once
out
you
when you
start
see
pouring out the
yeah.
humble, eventually that glass gonna be empty, and I'm gonna hit you in the head with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have the right temper. You got a little dirty ass rotten nigga, get up every day, don't wash his ass.
And
hair
that's
all
what
over
I'm
his
saying,
head,
though. You
don't
got to
wanna
be
shave
in
nothing.
control. You got to be in control. Why
They
you gonna
walk
let?
up and be like, see how Montana, you a bitch.
Well, why let him get out your? He dirty. He in here for. He in here for. Let's just say he in here for. You know, unfortunately, it happened like that. He in here for robbing an old lady with a gun with no bullets.
Man.
You see what I mean? Like,
But they
See,
they would
that's why
tell
I
you
couldn't
that.
do it, because that implies I gotta go check his record. And I'm not about to check his record. To check his chin a little bit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a method hunt.
But
Like,
then you
look, I
gotta
know what you here
again
for,
with
though, homie.
kids. Imagine when you was a kid. Imagine peer pressure. You see what I'm saying? Imagine something happening and everybody watching, and that pressure, that peer pressure. Oh, I gotta say something, or I gotta do
Right.
something, or I gotta address this. Whether it's gonna fuck my future up, you living in the moment.
Right.
All it take is, oh, you gonna let that shit slide? You gonna go for that? Just that easy. You know what I mean? You grown now. Somebody say like, oh, you just gonna let that shit? Man, I got shit to
I think
lose.
so.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That- he
I'm
ain't touched me. He ain't took no money from you or nothing. You grown. You process it. When you
Walk
young,
away.
you want to
can't.
fight over free state issue stuff. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I still fall for that though.
Yeah.
I still fall for who
No, you
talking
can't. You
about? I'm
gotta.
just kidding.
You say that about your mama, man.
Motherfucker put their hands on you, ain't
Just
taking no
playing,
money out your
man.
pocket or hurting you. Then you gotta let that shit slide. A pair of lips gonna do just that. Talk. You gotta let them do that.
Let me ask you one question. If it's one thing, maybe two,
Okay.
because I know one thing might be a little hard that you would if you could talk to like the governor, say you could talk to the governor and you can express what you think will be the number one thing to reform the juvenile system. What would be the improvement or the change that you would ask for?
To improve it, to be honest, it's too sugared down. It's too, like I said, kids are more fragile at a young age mentally. So it's easy to reform a kid. Once I think on any level, like adult or juvenile, the main thing is to cage your mind. It's to break you down mentally. You know what I mean? Like you was alluding to
That's
earlier.
what I say.
It's to
different now.
break you down mentally. Because once you imagine, especially in the juvenile, like you got to think of stuff like this, and I think of it with a bigger picture. Imagine going through puberty in jail. You don't got your father to talk to. You ain't got no male to talk to. You see what I'm saying? You feeling all your body going through all different times of changes.
You can't just go out to the breakfast
just-
table and be like,
you
I'm
just
growing
can't-
hair on my
right,
dick.
like,
Right.
when you get out, you're gonna be a bat out of hell. You're gonna feel like you missed out, so you're gonna try to make up so quick of whatever you lost.
And do everything.
The hardest part about my job, it just so happened recently, one of my youth got out and he was killed. You know what I mean?
man.
Like that story happens a lot where I got youth that get out and commit a real crime, a real heinous crime. Now they doing adult time. You know what I mean? But the number one thing, if I could ask the governor, stop watering it down. Give them the real. Give them the real.
Yeah.
Give them, because a lot of kids don't get phone calls, don't get mail, just like an adult system. Then there's kids that do, and they like, shit, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't that bad. I got money on the books. I got satellite cable. You know, they got cable. They got, like I said, tablets, internet access. They got, it's a lot of stuff.
You got amenities.
Only thing
like
they don't
hotel
got
juvenile.
is the freedom
see, that's
and
all-
company.
that's
That's,
the-
it. You know what I mean?
You hit something very, very crucial. What people don't understand is what I try to tell them. They grooming them kids to find comfort in prison.
Right.
They want it to be pleasant. They don't want them to be stressed. They want them to grow up so they can
They
add
want
to
you
the
to come
prison
back.
industry.
They want you to come
Every
back.
prison got a factory on the
yes,
property.
Yes, they want you
Every
to come
prison.
back.
It's not a prison in this state that don't got a factory on the premises, and they want their labor
They do.
for cheap. They making millions off the backs of penitentiary slaves. And if they can, if they educate people and people learn about this process that they part of, they'll be less likely to fall for it. Yeah. And they grooming the kids to come. Like the best thing they did for adult prison was let people have TVs, cause now they occupied.
Yeah.
You know, an idle mind is what the devil's workshop.
And they pacify.
But they want to get a kid something to do. So it's gonna be levels to it, of course. Who can afford this, get this. Who can't afford this, everybody can share this. But at the end of the day, any one of those things could comfort your mind. They trying to comfort your mind. TV is a comfort for your mind. It's not a comfort for your body, because you'll get fat as fuck in front of a TV.
Man,
it's
You
all
feel
to
what I'm
break you
saying?
down, just get you conditioned for somebody to tell you when to eat, shit, sleep, piss, whatever the case may be. But that's what I tell the kids. Once you get cool with that, once you get cool with the way the system, that's when you institutionalize. Like a lot of kids like,
cool with it.
hey yo, what do it mean when you institutionalize? Like they ask you that.
Right.
And that's what I tell them. I say institutionalize is when you comfortable with the amenities of jail. On whatever level, when you get out, when you hear,
I think
you know what I mean?
I think institutionalized is when your body and your mind functions in the fashion the institution planned it to function. Like for instance, when you first come on, most prisoners they don't like bright light because they've been indoors for how many years?
That's true, but then
So
they
they
also
eyes
accept
burn.
that though. That's how I was saying.
Right,
When
that's what I'm saying.
you
You gotta
accept
accept
those,
it.
but some in mine, that's not in the adult side. In the juvenile, I had kids that never accept it. You know what I mean? They'll never eat jail food. They'd rather eat snacks, get fat, because I'ma always keep some type of connection to the outside. You know what I mean? Like it's just certain things. They got the little thong slides, you know, they give you that state issue.
Yeah,
I don't wear them on the outside. I don't want to wear that. Them is kids that
That's
refuse
why
to get institutionalized. When they
that's
get
why so
out,
many people
they
wear
gonna be
those
right
slides
back
right
like
now.
this never happened.
I can't wear that. I
But
said that
then-
before. I can't wear them.
No,
slides.
look
I
though,
can't wear
but
none
then the
though
kid,
outside.
I can
that's
wear
like-
slides in the house, but I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
in
wear
the
them
house.
outside.
No, but look.
outside.
So then the kid that's in my facility, and he like, oh no, fuck that, Kenny. Where my apple at? Like everybody else got an apple with my apple. See, that's more what I'm saying. Like, but you can't let that apple go. You want to flip the unit, or you want to get when you get restrained the youth. We call it getting bent. You want to get bent. You want to get bent for an apple. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just being like, hold on, bro, give me a minute. Let me get. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry you didn't get your apple. Give me a second. I'll look into it. But then you didn't flip the chair over or threw some shit. Nah, it's like, well,
I want
fuck
it
your
now.
apple now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now we have a different issue now because you took it this far for an apple. Then you get bent, you get restrained, you get put in, like, you know, he said you
The
get put in a box.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm a real one. I'm gonna come talk to you out there and let you know, like, but it ain't never personal. It's just a job. You was tripping. Damn, you right. I was tripping. It was just a fucking apple, huh? Like, yeah, man, I got your apple right here. How'd you just gave me a minute? You know what I mean? Like,
Get an apple.
that's when I be like, now that kid's institutionalized. You see what I'm saying? Like, when he not getting something that's
fight
free.
over an apple.
Man, it's like a
free.
residue. It's
You know
like,
what I'm saying? Like,
it's like you start to live in a microcosm.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can live in a small space and be cool with that.
And that's when they got you.
Institutionalized.
That's
Like,
when
it
they
don't
got
bother you one bit that it's a small space. Everybody else say, damn, you in a tight little space.
Right.
And you like, no, this is all I need right here. Like, you will look around and you'll be sitting in the chair and you'll notice that everything you really needed was within arm length, like how your cell was set up. You start doing shit like the way you shit, the way you count the rolls, you wrap around your hand or whatever, because you really know how much toilet paper is on this roll from prison. It's like the way you, like for instance, this is whole nother level, but it's just like when you in there and you go someplace you have no business, they call it out of place.
Exactly. Out of area.
You're out of place or out of area in the
right.
juvenile, and adult is out of place.
Right.
But institutionalized make you feel that feeling when you home and you trying to go to new places. You go into certain areas, you feel out of place. I ain't about to be up in these suburbs.
Or my best behavior.
I'm out of place.
Right.
You feel it. It's nothing different about the world. It's something different about you.
It's a feeling that never leaves you. Then
right. That's what institutionalized.
Yeah, once they get your mind, you institutionalized. I don't think you can ever get that back.
It don't never go away.
I don't think you ever gonna get that piece of sanity back, though.
And it's depressing. It's sad, and it's fucked up because you didn't even think that you was gonna have that. And nobody ever really talks about what it means to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's major because it bothers people to a point where they can't think straight in other areas.
And it go beyond that too, because what's really big in the black community is mental health issues. Like, so I might have like all the 95% of the kids in my facility got mental health issues though. You see what I'm saying? So that still resort back to the fact that you 14, 15, 16, 17 finding yourself and nobody there. You know what I mean? Like the state don't want me to care but so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll get in trouble for caring too much. You know what I mean?
They don't want you establishing relationships.
Exactly.
You're not a counselor.
They don't want me to guide you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm your CO. You would think that I'm there to give you some knowledge to help you grow as a man.
Right.
The state don't want you to do that.
Not at all.
They don't want you to do that. That's what I was saying when you have personal relations. They don't want you to care.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want you to be TTG. If you violate whatever the case may be, I don't want you to hesitate because this your homie. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want you to, whatever gotta happen, it needs to happen. Don't hesitate because at the same time that can get you hurt though too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And other people hurt.
Yeah, exactly. That's more. That'll be crushing to me. If I do something and I get hurt, I can handle that. But if I do something that leads to somebody else getting hurt, I couldn't handle that. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to be there for my fellow brothers and sisters that's also COs.
Yeah.
But the state don't
already know what time it is.
Yeah, but the state don't want us to. They don't want us to look out. They don't want us to care. They don't want me to give you no knowledge. They don't want to give me none of that.
Shout out to my man's Big Meats, aka in the pen called CO Kenny. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for sliding through, man.
Coming out.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man.
And you know me, I'm Ray the Shark on Facebook, Ray the Shark 4 on IG, and you can always get at us on WeUpRadio.com every Monday. OPNation Talk.
And I'm OG DJ A and OG DJ A on Facebook, OG.DJA on Instagram. Every Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. WeUpRadio.com. You know what it is, y'all.
Peace.